Good afternoon, students. Right. So in the last class, we have finished the fifth module, right? And we were discussing about the third module, right? That is, we have discussed the connecting devices, virtual LANs, and the advantages of the different connecting devices like switches, routers, and hubs, right? So in today's class, we will discuss the wireless LAN, right? So welcome to video lecture, right? So my name is Shivanand Channi, and I've shared my details, right? So moving to the next slide, first slide, right? So in today's class, we are going to discuss the wireless LAN, right? So a wireless LAN, as the name itself shows, right? So here there is no wire, there is no physical channel between the different devices, right? So there is no the hosts or the different devices like computers, laptops. These hosts are going to be connected to the switches, right? Or something we call it as access points, right? So that we will see later, right? So we are going to introduce a local area network without a physical channel which is connected, which is without a physical channel between host and the intermediate devices. So here the laptops, computers are not connected to an intermediate device with the help of physical channel, right? So here the physical channel itself is not available, but the channel is in the form of air, right? So in the diagram you can see, right? So in the diagram you can see here both the local area networks are showed. In the first thing, that is wired network, there are three different devices which are connected to a central connecting device which is called a switch or hub, or you can also call it as a router, right? So this is one local area network, right? And you can also see there is two wireless networks, right? So which are connected to the intermediate device that is called the access point, right? And here the wired as well as the wireless networks are connected to a central distributed system, right? Which we call it as a backbone bus, right? So entire these access points are connected to that distributed system through a wire. There will be a physical channel which is used to connect access points and the backbone bus, but you can see there is no physical channel between the laptops between the laptops and the access points, right? So this will include, or you can call this LAN, wireless LAN, as both wired as well as wireless, because to connect the end systems, to connect the users to the access points, we are using air as a medium, and to connect the access points to the backbone networks like distributed systems or the backbone buses, we are going to use a wired connection, a physical connection, right? So moving to the next point, we will discuss about the wireless network, right? So in wireless communication is one of the fastest growing technologies, right? So even if you take your mobile phones, right? So you're going to connect your mobile phones to the database systems, or you can call centralized systems, central connecting systems using a wireless. There is no physical channel between your mobile, your device, and you can call antenna, that is what we call it as a central antenna or a service provider, you can say, right? So to that service provider or central antenna, you are going to connect your mobile without any physical channel, right? So in this wireless communication is a very fastest growing technology nowadays, right? Here the demand for connecting devices without the use of cables is increasing everywhere, right? So here we are going to talk with respect to the other device without any physical channel, right? So the air will act as a physical channel, and the signals are carried through this air in the form of electromagnetic waves, right? Wireless LANs can be found on a college campuses, in office buildings, and in many public areas. You might have seen in our department. Our department has wireless Wi-Fi connections, wireless routers you may have, right? So you can come with your device. You can get connected with that wireless hub, you can say, or wireless router, you can say, by registering yourself to that wireless router. So that wireless router or a hub or a Wi-Fi device will act as a access point. It is going to you are going to access that centralized device, right, to if you want to access the internet, right? And but here the system what you are using, that should have a wireless capability to get connected with that access point, right? So this is the introduction part of the wireless LAN. Moving to the next slide. So here we are going to first, before we are going to discuss the wireless LAN, first we are going to discuss the architecture of both the wired as well as wireless LAN, right? We are going to compare the architectures of wired LAN as well as the wireless LAN, right? So till now we have seen, till here we have discussed all the networks which works on a wired LAN, right, which works as a wired LAN, in which all the devices are connected with the help of a physical channel. The channel may be made up of coaxial cable, copper cable, optical fiber cable, or any of the twisted pair cable and all, right? But here there is no physical channel. The channel will be as a channel will be an air, right? So first we will compare the wired network as well as the wireless network, right? Their architecture wise, the first point about the architecture is the medium, right? So this is a very important architecture parameter, you can say. Here in case of wired network, I have already discussed. From the diagram you can see there are 4 computer systems and there is one server, right? They all are connected to a central device which we call it as a hub with the help of a wire, right? And a switch in turn is connected to one more switch. Let us say if this is a switch, which is lying in another network, right? And this is a router, this is a switch, right? So this is another network, let us assume, right? So this switch is connected to a router, this switch is connected to a router to form a larger wired LAN, right? So all the devices, you can see, you can take any examples of wired devices. All devices here are going to be connected with the help of a physical medium, right? So the medium here is the physical channel, the channel that may be containing a coaxial cable, copper cables, optical fiber cables in which the data is transmitted in the form of light, and the twisted pair cables, right? So this is the biggest difference between the architecture of wire LAN and a wireless LAN, right? The first difference we can see between a wired and a wireless LAN is the medium. In a wired LAN we use wires to connect the host, and we used point to point as well as multi-point networks, right? So if I take only two hosts, if I take two hosts, one host and the second host, if they are getting connected through a physical medium, then this is also called as a LAN. This is a very simplest LAN what we can build using a two hosts and a physical medium, right? So in this physical medium only two devices are getting connected, and here it is also called as point to point LAN, where the one end of a physical medium is connected to the one station or the device, and the other end is connected to the other network, right? So in case of multi-point network, right, so there will be backbone bus, there will be a shared medium to which the number of or multiple devices are connected. The multiple devices are connected with the help of a tap, right? So here you can see in the diagram 1, 2 and 3 are the devices which are connected to a backbone bus. The bandwidth of the backbone bus will be very huge compared to the tap lines or the drop lines, what the lines which are used to connect the devices to the backbone bus, right? The bandwidth of drop lines, these are the drop lines, drop lines, and the bandwidth of these drop lines are very less compared to the backbone bus, because the backbone bus is going to carry the data of all three devices, or whatever number of devices are going to be connected to that shared channel. So it is going to carry the data of all the devices which are going to be connected to that particular shared channel, right? So this is the biggest difference between the wired LAN and the wireless LAN, that is the medium, right? So moving to the next part,